bunch of records in town.
You got everything here?
There's a couple smart people and respectful, but that's about it.
All right, attention. Can I get everybody to quiet down, please? We're going to call the planning commission meeting to order.
Class reunions to get their attention.
Thank you. I'm going to call this meeting of the Planning Commission to order. Start out with a roll call. Well, we're all still here plus Dan now, so. All present. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of minutes from Thursday, December 18th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That we heard. From a legal perspective, decision makers have to have enough information to intelligently come to conclusions, appropriate conclusions. So my suggestion would be that, and it will ultimately go to the point of tabling, would be that a motion be made that the additional studies be undertaken and research done in order to provide information that will be the best information available to make decisions. And if that motion is made and seconded, then as a planning commission, I would hope the group and their engineer, planner, lawyer, study being borne by the village's taxpayer. The cost of getting information sufficient to make decisions for this application should be borne by the applicant. I'm saying that up front for information to vote on the 3 points that will probably be tabled tonight. And let's talk about it tonight and let's identify what those topics are to give direction to the staff.
Correct. Would you like to amend your motion?
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
But I think it's through discussion that we're going to, of that motion, right?
Right.
We
So
iron out
we'll
the
motion
details.
second and then
Yeah.
further discussion.
Yeah, now if we go to motion for a second and vote on it, if it's adopted, then I think we have a discussion on what those topics are, and that have to be further research.
All right, the amended motion by me.
I'll second.
Now, we do any further discussion?
Well, vote on motion, let's vote on the motion first.
Okay.
Authorize.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries. And that's for all 3 items on the agenda.
Yeah, all 3, we're done. And then, I made a list of items that I thought, even before hearing the people place, were important. First of all, I think that the staff, whether this is planning and engineering, should contact communities where they have similar uses in order to determine what the impact of those uses are. That covers a broad spectrum, but I think it would be helpful to have first-hand information from those other communities as to the reality of that use on adjoining property. There's a question about the value of reduction in value of surrounding properties. I think that probably could be researched through assessors or appraisers and some conclusions. There's a statement that there's wetlands involved here. That may be, that should be checked, or double checked or triple checked. There's a question about groundwater use. And this type of use certainly does require some kind of use of water to water the green fields. There needs to be some sort of information that indicates that it's not going to have an adverse impact on the groundwater. There was a federal protected species, which maybe I recall Fish and Wildlife, a federal Fish and Wildlife Service. There were several assertions of some archaeological significance at a cemetery site, and they require contact with the DNR. As part of the determination of impact while researching with other communities, noise should be considered to realistically understand what the impact of these uses are on other communities. The issue of safety, police and fire, again, I think that to contact other communities and to contact our own chief of police and our own fire chief to determine what they foresee to be the realistic impacts of this type of development. And maybe those respective chiefs want to talk to the chiefs in communities where they have the same type of issue. And the same with crime. There were some comments made on crime. And again, I think it would be wise to go the horse's mouth to determine whether that is a real issue with this type of use. And if so, what we could do to deal with it. There's a real general underlying issue that has to be considered. And some people I could like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. If you look at I-43 and Moreland Road, and you look at I-43 and Highway 83, we all know the direction that's gone. Moreland Road, 164, 83, and 67 are major north-south connectors to Waukesha County. Major east-west connectors are 94, maybe Capitol Drive, and I-43. When you look at each one of those intersections, you see what the forces of likely that there's going to be some kind of intense development on an interstate highway and a state highway. That's the reality of it. You might not like it, moved here to become members of living in a Sylvan Dell. But I could predict, I think, that there will be changes that are going to occur. And that's just life. That's the reality of it. But in any event, if indeed there be some more intense development there, what do we as a community lose by having low-based baseball fields, and what tax generation is going to occur with that compared to a hotel? Sometime, I'll predict, I won't let you see it, but I'll predict there'll be a hotel in the intersection at some point going to happen in my view. But this economic impact of it to the village will not be borne by the village taxpayer. The applicant is the one who requires this information to be gathered, and their drainage and stormwater management has been a big issue, and that's going to be looked at, I think, very closely, and the comments that have been made by some of the people will certainly be considered. Well, I think that's exhaustive. The others, I think there's other inquiries that do it, but those are the things that I recognize I thought required more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Warren, I would add sewer and water to that list.
Absolutely.
Well, if there is a study on the air pollution, the dark sky certification.
You mentioned traffic, right?
Yeah,
At the beginning, right?
I understood that the traffic study is
Yeah,
very
it started,
authorized.
yeah.
The staff is going to have to agree with the developer as to who does this. We want to have independent analyses conducted. So I know a company that I would suggest that do a hell of a good job for traffic study, but they're independent. They don't care who's paying them. They come up with an objective conclusion.
Written plan on suggested loan from the village. There's been
Suggested one.
it has been discussed possibility, but that would be something to get in writing if you were to happen.
What about the TIF district and how it's gonna extend to that area?
It wouldn't.
We wouldn't be able to do a TIF up there. So the TD one's gonna stay the way it is? Correct.
Mr. Engineer, you got anything?
We'll regurgitate a lot of what Mike just said, sewer, water, traffic and street improvements, stormwater management. There is an accepted wetland delineation on this property already. The permitting process through the DNR is gonna deal with the endangered species and the archaeological. It's a requirement of all these permits now.
And they'll deal with stormwater and all of that too.
Well, yeah, it's all part of the
Right.
permitting process. The minute you disturb more than an acre of ground, whether there's wetland or not, you're
Right.
required to get a DNR permit, you have to do all this work.
Yep.
Do we need to do anything, it was mentioned in the report with the electrical towers, getting the energy commission involved? Is there any study or communication with them?
Or if you're building underneath, I would suspect.
Yeah, they have an easement, they can't encroach on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay outside the easement of the-
I was just listening to you.
Comment in regards to the grade, the Poplar's grade and stuff, that, I know they've been working on that, some of the stuff, some of the people have been already moved to Waukesha. It's a matter of verification on everything, on whether or not everyone has been moved, so that has to be researched as well, in regards to all that.
Yeah, I think that goes well with what Will said as soon as you.
We can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. I don't know about anybody else. We can't.
Just
hear you.
barely.
So basically what we're talking about is the old cemetery that was there. There were some sites that were already moved to Waukesha. It's a matter of getting verification on whether or not everyone was moved to Waukesha. That process is still ongoing, so there really ain't nothing much at this point until everything's all verified on that end, because that comment had come up during public comments in regards to the old site up there.
Thank you.
All I added was that the village engineer covered this with, whenever you disturb 1 acre or more of land, the DNR gets involved and they take care of stormwater, groundwater, cemeteries, wildlife, all of that. They're gonna mandate all of that with permits and research and their maps and so.
If you're talking amongst yourselves, it's like, we can't hear you.
Thank you.
So that's all, back and forth there. Anything else?
So, during the day, did you guys get the noise study in there too?
Yes.
Yes, right there with the lady.
So the 14 points that we have right now would be the value, the wetlands, the groundwater and stormwater, contacting other communities with similar uses, noise, protected species, safety, sewer and water, roads, economic impact, the dark sky / lighting, traffic study, financing, as well as grade 14.
16, 19, 20, I got 13.
You guys
Well-
are changing the ordinances and the requirements associated with making an application for zoning change. You are putting on more restrictions than exist in your code. You can't do that.
Just so everyone knows, your name and address.
My name is Andrew Niebler, I'm a lawyer with DeWitt. My address is not in this community. because I'm the attorney for
But you represent the applicant.
the developer, yes.
Okay, and I appreciate that. You and I had a private conversation. I think I'll say the same thing that you said as you walked away from me, and that is, we disagree. All I'm saying is you need enough information to intelligently come to decisions. At this point in time, we're not gonna go into the detail that's required for a permit. But we are going to go deep enough into it to determine whether this works and what the major impacts are on the community of people living in that area. I don't have an axe one way or the other as to the outcome of this. I only want it to be done correctly. And I think that getting detailed information is what's essential to getting it done correctly.
That is not required in your application for zoning change. So what you're doing is setting a precedent for everybody that makes a zoning change, that they have to do all these reports. These reports are required later on in the process, not at this stage.
Well, again,
So, if you're gonna, if the village is going to do that, they should put it in their ordinances on what they're gonna put in their application to do zoning change.
The only available
no, please,
alternative.
I'm not turning this into, I'm not turning the discussion. I've already gone further than I should.
Quite right.
But I disagree. But thank you.
You're not writing the law.
Let's go.
Great. Moving along, planners report. We already motioned and,
Well,
yeah, we did,
We
didn't
did?
it's supposed
Yeah, it was a discussion afterwards. We
Yeah.
brought that.
Well, I think developer is going to be involved in it also. So I think we're ready to go forward on that issue. And all the three items have been tabled, I understand, by vote.
Correct. Moving along, planners report. Vince,
I got nothing additional to offer tonight.
outstanding.
You guys kept me pretty busy.
Bill here? Correspondence, we went through all of that, I believe. Next meeting date is Thursday, February 19th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Please note, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your input, we appreciate it. Yeah, February 19th. I hope we can have it back there before like, we need more I want a flag on my wall where there's middle. Night, Karen.
Bye, Jeff. I'll see you later. What's my one?
Maybe again. I gotta get home. When I get home, I got your dad's number. I'll send it. When can I get it
Already got 1,000 emails on this.
35 years ago, at least. I'm trying to see if I can
said the first time, you're there on behalf of the village board. Is that clear? I asked the attorney, is this cool, right? I like you. You're on my property owner.
I think that'd be the best. Yeah, I agree. You know that. I'll be here every time.
Speaking of